What's up, you guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and watching a fragrance video with me. If you're already a part of the family, welcome back. This is going to be part 2 to a previous video that I already did, which was who's ready for fall? Me. Okay, I'm still ready for fall. Like, y'all know how I feel about the heat. The heat was just stupid dumb, okay, this past summer. So I'm definitely ready to usher out the summer and usher in the fall. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be part 2 to the video, and I'll link it at the top. The video was who's ready for fall? Me. Fall fragrances that I cannot wait to wear this fall. So again, it will be linked at the top. This is part 2 to that because I've been buying quite a few fragrances over the summer, and honestly most of them have all been like heavy hitter fragrances, fall fragrances, wintertime fragrances. Like, I have 5 fragrances here, and to be honest with y'all, with the exception of like one that I would possibly wear during the summertime, but the other ones ain't no way, like ain't no way I would wear those fragrances right now. They're just too heavy, they're too ambery, they're too smoky, they're too whatever. They are basically meant to wear in the cooler months. So, and really some of them are probably really meant to wear in wintertime, but I'm just so excited to talk about them and even more excited to wear them. So we're gonna get into it, but before I do, let me introduce myself. My name is Amanda Marie. Over here, I love to discuss fragrances. I love to smell good. That is my thing. So if you're someone that is into fragrance, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Also consider subscribing to my Instagram and my TikTok, okay? All my social medias, okay? Just follow me everywhere, period. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. The first one, I did mention this fragrance when I first got it. I know for sure I didn't do a 15-minute review on it, but I know for sure I mentioned it in a haul video, and so we're going to talk about that one first. But I want to pull up the notes on the fragrance. This is from the house of Mancera, and I don't really have a lot of Mancera fragrances, to be honest with you, and I think someone sent me a sample of this fragrance and I absolutely loved it. It is a beast baby. This fragrance is buck wild, okay? It is buck wild, but you know, it just smells so freaking good. And I'm talking about Red Tobacco from Mancera. I think I have, so this is like my 3rd fragrance from Mancera. I only have 3. Okay, I only have 3 fragrances from Mancera. I have Instant Crush, I have Hindu Kush, and I have this one, Red Tobacco. I do like Mancera fragrances. Now, one thing I don't like is this freaking screw off top. Like, I mean, who has time for a screw off top? Like, yeah. But that's probably the only downside that I would say to this brand is the screw tops. And I do think that they made some fragrances that don't have a screw off top. But anyway, let's talk about the fragrance. Again, this is Red Tobacco. This is an eau de parfum, and it's from Mancera. Let's talk about the notes in the fragrance. So in this fragrance, in the top, you get cinnamon, you get oud, you get saffron, incense, nutmeg. Y'all see where I'm going with this. You have green apple, pear. In the middle, you have patchouli and jasmine. In the base, you have tobacco, Madagascar vanilla, amber, sandalwood, guaiac wood, white musk, and Haitian vetiver. So if you know anything about notes, all the notes that I just read to y'all, okay, the cinnamon, the oud, the saffron, the incense, the patchouli, the freaking tobacco, you already know how this fragrance is coming straight off just from me telling you the notes. Like, you already know, okay? We gonna spray her a little bit, you know, even though I can smell it straight from the nozzle, okay? I'm just gonna do one spray because that's all I need for this video, because this fragrance will literally consume the whole freaking room. Okay, right away, I want to say the opening is very bright in the opening, okay? That's probably from maybe the green apple and the pear. Now, I will tell you this, I'm not too excited about the opening, okay? And initially when I played with the sample, that was the first thing that I did not like, was the opening. The opening was not the selling point for me. It was totally about the dry down, you guys. The dry down is everything, okay? It is everything. This fragrance is sexy, it is alluring. I mean, it is very unisex to me. I feel like anybody can wear this fragrance. It probably, to a lot of people, more so women, it will lean more masculine. And you know, that's because of the heavy notes in it, like the oud and the tobacco, the incense. So I would say it leans a little bit more masculine, but definitely a unisex type of fragrance, especially if you and I have, you know, the same similar taste in fragrances. You will enjoy this fragrance. But you guys, the notes that really sold me, in addition to the dry down, was that beautiful saffron. I feel like saffron can come off spicy, but at the same time it can come off sweet. That's one of the things that I love about saffron. It's very much like cinnamon and nutmeg. You know, it is what I would consider to be a spice, just like those two. And in the fragrance, the saffron plays very well with the cinnamon. To be honest with you, I can't really tell the cinnamon and the saffron apart, because y'all know cinnamon can come off a little bit spicy and a little bit sweet as well, but I love cinnamon. And sometimes cinnamon and nutmeg can smell a little bit the same to me as well. So, you know, you gotta have a little bit of a trained nose to really kind of set apart the spices in this fragrance. So this fragrance is very spicy, okay? The patchouli is making it very woody, along with that vetiver. Vetiver is very earthy to me, very dry. In my opinion, this is a very dry fragrance. It's way too loud and way too heavy for me to even consider looking at this fragrance for spring and summer. Like, it's just no way. But if you're that type of person, baby, knock yourself out, okay? Knock yourself out. But I love this fragrance. In the dry down, the vanilla starts to kick in, which makes this fragrance sweeter. It makes it creamier, okay? The amber, I feel like you do get the amber note in this fragrance. It's very warm, okay? This fragrance is very warm, and it's just beautiful to me. I feel like this would be a great fragrance for someone that is new to ouds. Like, if you want to try ouds, I feel like you would enjoy this. I feel like if you enjoy fragrances like Shag Off Oud, you will enjoy this, even though there's no mention of rose in this fragrance. It kind of is along the same vein, you know, in a way, minus the rose, okay? What else are they comparing it to? I don't know what it is. I don't know any of these fragrances. But yeah, if you like Shag Off Oud, you'll love this fragrance. I'm trying to think of what other fragrances I could compare this to that I have in my collection. If you like fragrances with incense, you know, smoky type of fragrance, you'll enjoy this one. But yeah, I cannot wait to wear it. I think I literally bought this fragrance. Did I buy this fragrance? I think I bought this fragrance at the beginning of the year. And so, you know, in Texas, like, we really don't have a winter, knock on wood, but the last couple of years we have had like snow and ice and all that crazy mess. But typically we really don't have a lot of winter days. So I think when I bought this, it was way too hot for me to wear it. But baby, as soon as it dropped down into like the low 60s, I would feel like I have enough confidence to spray this fragrance. But again, this is Red Tobacco by Mancera. This is a winner, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. If you can get past the initial spray, I think you will enjoy it. All right, next one on my list is a fragrance that was a blind buy. Okay, let me look this up right quick. I still don't know how to feel about this fragrance, to be honest with you guys. I thought about selling this fragrance several times, but you know, when it comes to selling fragrances, and that's why I'm being very particular when I buy fragrances now, because I really want to buy fragrances that I love. I don't really want to buy them necessarily just to review for you guys, even though I am a fragrance influencer, reviewer. It gets a little bit, how can I say this, frustrating, okay? When I go to resell a fragrance, you're never gonna get what you paid for the fragrance. And so again, this was a blind buy for me. This is from the house of Imaginary Authors. This is Slow Explosions. Now, when I was doing my research on this fragrance, can you guys see that? When I was doing my research on this fragrance, this was actually a very popular fragrance from Imaginary Authors. And just from reading the notes, again, it has saffron, it has rose, the notes on the back, it has rose, absolute, leather. Y'all know how I feel about leather. Leather can be a very difficult note for me personally. Okay, it has apple, benzoin, cashmerian, and then it has an imaginary note in it, which is Apura Night Market. Okay, so there's a note in here that I assume is to remind you of a marketplace, probably in India or somewhere along those lines. Okay, and that's just me using my imagination. Okay, this fragrance, it has me on the fence. So here again, another fragrance that I have a lot of difficulty with, and the opening just doesn't wow me. It's very difficult for me. I have played with this, like when I first got this fragrance, I played with it. I did spray it on skin and I wore it. The dry down is beautiful, okay? But here again, you know, you're looking at, and it shouldn't be this way. I feel like if you have difficulty with the opening of a fragrance, you shouldn't buy it, because the opening of a fragrance could take how can I put this? The dry down could take 30 minutes, okay? Just to be honest with you, 30 to 40 minutes for a fragrance to dry down 100% on your skin. And so I find myself struggling, okay, for 45 minutes until I get to that dry down. And I don't like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanna enjoy the fragrance from beginning to dry down. Like, that's just me. But you know, this fragrance smells very different on paper, and I don't want to spray it on my skin because it's gonna last all day. I've sprayed it on my skin, and one thing about Slow Explosions, this thing is gonna last you, it's gonna give you about 8 hours, no lie. Like, you don't have to worry about longevity with this one, because baby, she's like the Energizer Bunny. Like, this thing just don't quit, okay? It goes on forever. But I think what I'm struggling with is probably the leather. And I kind of knew that when I bought the fragrance, because I don't really, leather is very tricky. Y'all know I said this 100 times. It's a very tricky note for me. So because it's so hot, I feel like I really want to give this fragrance a chance before I try to sell it. And it's a brand new bottle. Y'all can see it's still full. I literally sprayed it just today. Probably will make the 3rd time that I've sprayed this fragrance. So I want to give it a fair chance, because I do love Imaginary Authors. I love their fragrances, but you know, it's just like Louis Vuitton. You know, you may love Louis Vuitton, but you know, sometimes they're gonna come out with something that you just can't get down with. So I don't know. We're gonna see when it get cold. We're gonna see if I'm able to get down with this fragrance. I got my fingers crossed on this one, because you guys know I love unique smells. I love to smell different. I just love for my fragrances to stand out. This is definitely a standout fragrance. Hell, you might be standing alone, baby. It's so doing the most, okay? Like, we'll see. If you have it, comment down below. You know, let me know what you think about it. I thought about maybe certain things that I could layer it with, maybe something sweet that will set off that leather. Fragrance should not be that difficult, babe. Like, you should buy fragrances that you love, and you don't have to spray other things with to love it. Like, nah, let's not normalize that, okay? Let's normalize buying fragrances that you absolutely love. Let's normalize sampling, because that's what I should have did before I went head first, okay, into that fragrance. But we moving on. The next one is from the house of Tom Ford. I've actually talked about this fragrance before, not that long ago. This is Ebene Fume. This is from Tom Ford's private blend collection. I believe this is private blend, if I'm not mistaken, okay? This is a fairly new fragrance. It was released last fall, and at the time, honey, I didn't want to spend a coin on it. But be that as it may, I got this one for a pretty good cost, okay? It was on sale at Nordstrom's for like $140, and then I had like a $10 off little coupon or whatever I put with that, so I got it for $120. You guys know Tom Ford fragrances are not the cheapest, okay? So whenever I can catch a deal, and if it's something that I want, I'm definitely going to buy it. I cannot wait to wear this fragrance for several reasons. I fell in love with it last year when it first came out. This is definitely my type of fragrance. You guys know I love beastly heavy hitter fragrances. Let's get into the notes. In the top, you have incense, Palo Santo, which is becoming a very popular note in fragrances right now. You have black pepper, you have violet leaf in the mid, you have leather, labdamen, papyrus, cade oil, rose, and in the base you have resin, you have ebony tree, and you have guaiac wood. This ebony tree, man, I love ebony tree. I was introduced to ebony tree by that fragrance from Zara. What is it called? Ebony Woods or Ebony Wood. Man, the ebony tree in that one is amazing. The ebony tree in this one is a little bit more sophisticated. I could tell it's a little bit more expensive because it's very smooth. In this fragrance, you get a lot of resin, okay? You get a lot of resin. Resin, if you're trying to figure out what resin kind of smells like or feels like, if you have a Grand Soir in your collection, that is a resin-based fragrance, okay? Anytime you look up the notes and you see where the juice is very ambery in color like this, 9 times out of 10 is because it's very heavy on the resin, okay? Resin comes from a tree, from my experience. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know in the comments, but I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, it comes from a tree. But I love this fragrance. This fragrance, man, it smells like money. It's sophisticated. It's sexy. I will be honest with you. I think this would smell great on a man. I do feel like this could lean a little bit masculine in my opinion. And to be honest with y'all, a lot of my heavy hitter fragrances, my fall fragrances, wintertime fragrances, they gonna hit kind of masculine, okay? They're gonna be very unisex, leaning more towards masculine. So just letting you guys know that. But I love this fragrance. Every time I smell it, it just, ooh. Now this is one I can spray on my, this one I'm gonna spray on my hand because, baby, this money. And I'm not finna waste it on a piece of paper, okay? We ain't doing that over here. Oh, it's beautiful. I get this beautiful resin, deep, thick, woody resin. I get the incense. I get the rose. The rose is kind of taking a back seat to the leather and the incense and Palo Santo and resin, all in woods and stuff. It's taking a back seat to all that. This fragrance does remind me a little bit of ombre leather, okay? It could even touch a little bit on Tuscan leather. So people are comparing this fragrance to Stash by Sarah Jessica Parker, which we know that people went ham with that fragrance, okay? They're also comparing it to Black Afghano from Nasamato. But to me, it's giving me a very rich ombre leather. Just imagine ombre leather with a lot of heavy resinous notes, a lot of heavy amber, okay? That's what it's giving me. But this thing bangs. When I tell you it bangs, honey, it just smells sexy. It smells sophisticated, classy, all the things, okay? And I absolutely love it. So I can't wait to wear this one. This is Ebene Fume by Tom Ford. The next one is actually new to my collection. I just bought this one, and I bought it from a store here in Houston called Cool Lipskin. Cool Lipskin. I will put the name down here, or I'll put it down in the description. But I love that store. They have a lot of niche brands. So if you're someone that is into niche, or you want to like explore niche, you want to smell niche, see what the hype is about niche, you should go there. They have a lot of niche brands. But I was smelling this one. This one was actually on their 50% off table. So I got a good deal for it. And this is from Juice Box, okay? This is Living Loud, okay? Living Loud from Juice Box. And let me just take it out the box. Let me show you guys what it looks like in the box. Here it is. Cute, okay? This is my very first Juice Box fragrance. There's a fragrance that made by Juice Box that's very popular. I don't know which one that is, but this is my favorite one. Now here's the thing, when I was like exploring it, smelling it, it reminded me, oh my God, it reminded me of a fragrance that I bought from Cool Lipskin years ago in a black bottle. I wore it out, literally I wore it every day. I didn't even know what niche was back then. And I don't even know what prompted me to go to this store, to be honest with you. I used to just explore, you know, and I went to this store. Someone may have told me about it, but I went to the store, and back then they had not expanded, okay? Now they've expanded, it's huge. And they had a very small fragrance selection. And there was a fragrance in there that came in a black bottle. So as I'm smelling this, me and the sales associate, we're talking about it, and I said, this reminds me of another fragrance. And I just happened to, I left it on the counter and I kept smelling things. And I said a black bottle to him, and he said, oh, he said, you might want to go over and smell Scent Essence by Costume National, or National. He said, you should go over there and smell it. And so I was like, okay, let me go smell it. And Lord, lo and behold, I swear, that's what it was. Now, I didn't get that one because it was almost $200. This one was like $90. So this was more in my price range. But when I tell you guys, it sent me back in time, y'all. It sent me back in time. It sent me to like 2004, because that's when I bought the scent incense from Costume National. I hope I'm saying that right. National, Costume National. I feel like that's what it was. Even the name, okay? But it's the same, you guys. It literally is the same fragrance. And so I felt very confident in purchasing this one. But in this one, in the top, you get cardamom, you get bergamot. In the mid, you get rose, cinnamon, geranium. In the base, you get patchouli, amber, myrrh, lavender, oud, okay? You get sandalwood and musk. See, all of these fragrances gonna have a little oud in them. They're gonna have a little incense. They're gonna have a little tobacco. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is fall, winter for me. Like, I'm gonna be walking around like a puff of smoke, okay? But I love this one. Oh my God, it just, oh, it sent me back, y'all. It sent me back. I have nothing but great memories with this scent. Not this particular one, but Scent Incense by Costume National, or National. But I love this. I've been searching for this fragrance forever, okay, forever. And back then, I was so dingy. I was throwing away my empty bottles, and I don't do that anymore. Especially if it's something that I know I want to buy again. I don't throw away the empties. It's just a reminder for me that I want to re-up on the fragrance. But this is beautiful. What I pick up in this fragrance, in the opening, I don't struggle with the opening at all. The opening to me is very bright. Okay, I get that beautiful cardamom in the beginning. I get the cinnamon with the bergamot. The bergamot is what gives it that brightness, okay? Because the bergamot is kind of like a citrus smell. So that's what's giving it the brightness. But as this fragrance dries down, it dries down to the most beautiful resin, okay, fragrance ever, okay? It's sweet, soft. It's just warm. It kind of puts me in the frame of mind of Grand Soir. Grand Soir has a beautiful, soft resin feel in the dry down with that fragrance. I love it. This one puts me in that same frame of mind, and I absolutely love it. Like, I could wear this one right now during, you know, nighttime right now. I could get away with this because even though it's giving me fall, winter, it's so beautiful and soft. Like, you know, it just kind of smells like a little heavy. But I feel like depending on how many sprays I do, I could get away with wearing this right now. It is absolutely stunning. Man, that sandalwood makes it very creamy in the dry down. The myrrh is not heavy on the patchouli. It's not heavy on the myrrh. It is a perfect balance of everything. And oh, I love when fragrances have this perfect blend, perfect balance. It's just perfect, okay? And for $90, girl, bye. Baby, I was walking out the store with this one, and I knew it was meant to be because it was the last one. I don't know if you guys are like this, but whenever I'm like shopping and I see something and it's only one left, I feel like it's the universe telling me that it's for me. Because you know, once you leave it there and you go back, it's gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? So you know you gotta pick it up. You gotta get it. You know, so that's how I was feeling with this fragrance, and I'm absolutely over the moon with this fragrance. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It is very unisex, okay? I feel like it doesn't lean either way. Anybody could wear it and it would just be perfect, okay? I love this one, and I'm so happy that it was on sale. Mama had to get it. I had to get it, baby. I had to get it. I couldn't leave that store without getting it. I would have been kicking myself later on. And it just the fact that it reminds me of a fragrance that I fell in love with years ago. Let me see when this is it. When this fragrance came out. Okay, so Scent Intense. I think I've been saying incense. Scent Intense by Costume National, okay, or National. That fragrance came out in 2002, okay, which makes sense to me because I started wearing it in like 05 or 06. It just brings back so many memories. I love when I have positive memories tied to a fragrance. When you have messed up memories tied to a fragrance, it messes it up, okay? It ruins it for me. I'd be struggling to, you know, turn it around because I'll be wearing it and I'll be smelling it and I'll be thinking about that bullshit that happened, and then I can't wear it anymore. I love it when I have great memories tied to a scent, because back then, you guys, I was coming into my womanhood. I was exploring fragrances. I was done with the Bath and Body Works. I was into mature scents, and it was so different, so unique from anything that I was wearing back then, and I had to have it. So anyway, y'all know how I can be when I love something. I just be talking my ass out. But let's go to the last fragrance here, and this one, y'all. Okay, now let me tell y'all this. I'm gonna tell y'all the honest to God truth about this fragrance, okay? This is Cartier's Panthier, but this is the Soir edition, okay? Le Panthier edition Soir. That's what this is. So I was at my little mom and pop shop that I like to call it. It's right close to my house, and they have, I love going there because they have a great selection of fragrances, number one. Number two, they do have hard to find fragrances, and so I do like going there every now and again to find fragrances that you really just can't get on the market. I think this one is available on the market. I think you can still get this one at Nordstrom's, if not in store, maybe online. But I got a sample of Le Panthier, okay, and it was something very vintagey about that fragrance that I really didn't care for. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be different from everybody else. Everybody buying Le Panthier. I'm gonna buy Edition Soir, okay? I'm gonna buy the Soir edition. Child. Now don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This fragrance was released in 2016, so it's not that old. But there's only 5 notes listed, okay? We have animal notes. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Gardenia, oak moss, floral notes, and musk. Now, let's talk about the animal note. To me, this fragrance has a note of like a kitty cat, okay? Yeah, you know, and I'm not trying to be vulgar, but it does smell literally like an animal, like a cat, like a kitten, okay? Now, this might be a full-grown cat, to be honest with y'all. This is a full-grown cat, you know, but it's not a stinky cat, but it definitely has this animalic note in it, and it's not gonna be for everybody. This is an extremely unique fragrance. If you smell the original Le Panthier, just imagine an animal note added to that, like an animalic type of note, okay? I love the oak moss in it because it's giving me something of a mossy, wet, you know, oak moss. I always describe oak moss smelling a little wet, smelling like a little pond, you know, I think you can find oak moss near wet surfaces, okay? But it has a little wet feel to it, all right? It is very earthy. It is very kind of, I'm gonna say earthy, okay? In floral. It's very vintagey, okay? It is very vintagey. It's very kind of old school in that way. You know, I can see someone older than me, way older than me, rocking this scent, because you know when you get to that age, you don't give a damn what nobody say, or you don't care what nobody think, okay? Years on this earth, and you can give 2-ish about what anybody has to say about your perfume, okay? That age. All right, but I've not really had a chance to really wear this fragrance and explore it the way that I want to. I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key kind of scared to pull this fragrance off. I'm not usually afraid of fragrances. I'm not usually afraid to stand out and be unique and be different. But with this one though, ooh, I'm scared, okay? I really want to get other people's opinions on it and see what they say about it, and you know, that's gonna tell me a lot, okay? As a whole, I think the fragrance is good, okay? It's good. Again, it's very vintagey, it's very heavy. You're gonna get a heavy, musky, animalic smell to this, okay? The floral note is gardenia. I'm not the biggest fan of gardenia. It can sometimes come off smelling like tuberose to me, and I'm not a big fan of tuberose, but we will revisit this. I think I talked about this before in a video probably like last year, and as y'all can see, I haven't really got a chance to wear it, but we're gonna circle back. We're gonna circle back, and I'm gonna let y'all know how I feel about this fragrance, okay? Somebody put masterpiece, simply perfect, flawless. Second review, this is breathtaking, okay? Somebody said that it smells like a sexy, mature woman, okay? But since I'm only one of those things, not saying which one, I don't think it was for me. Ended up selling the sample, okay? I could only indulge in one Panthier, and I saw this one for a bargain price, so I went to Cartier, tested them, and I think they're all fantastic, okay? It says, oh my, this is my first animalic perfume, and I had no idea what to expect. Then I spritzed it on after my Scarlett O'Hara worthy swoon. I cursed a bit because I was gonna have to figure out how to write about it using the utterly tacky panty dropper. This perfume that resonates on a very basic level, core dries the sort of response promised by pheromone perfumes. I would totally agree with that. This is a pheromone type of scent, okay? And I might let y'all in on a little secret. I feel like the fellas are really gonna like this because men are very nasty, okay? And I'm gonna try to keep it G-rated. But there's a certain scent, a certain pheromone that a woman gives off, okay? And down below, okay? That men love. And that's what this is. That's what this is. They put that shit, they put it in a bottle, y'all. They put the kitty cat in a bottle. Absolutely. We gonna circle back on that. We gonna circle back. But these are 5 fragrances that I cannot wait to explore and wear this wintertime. And we gonna circle back to the Cartier. Comment down below if you guys have any of the fragrances I mentioned in this video. I would love to get your opinions on them. If you're not following me on my social medias, go down in my description, click the link. It will take you straight to my Instagram, straight to my TikTok. Y'all already here on YouTube, so don't worry about clicking that one. But you do need to click the subscribe button, okay? Subscribe. Hit your notification bell, okay? Turn on your notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload. Give this video a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it so much. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah.